I'm disappointed. I am. A couple people asking, is Haunted Castle Gaming going to open a box? Are they going to open Origins? What you should be asking is, when, Asid, are you going to let poor Joey out in Colorado all by his lonesome enjoy Origins? You've gone to the printer and you've been dealing with boxes and products for a week, if not longer. You've had your fun. It's my turn. Let's do a box opening. And I'm going to tell you a little story. So, hello. Camera switched, and we got a whole new thing now. I've also, I'm reversed because I want to look down at the cards. I think that makes more sense other than looking away. Behind the scenes stuff. I didn't think my desk through. Anyway. So this is the Kickstarter box that I got. This is my Kickstarter kit. I only got one box, from the actual Kickstarter because I didn't read the rules. They had a content creator tier. You probably saw some of the content creators got the tier. I'm gonna shove some of the cards. Got a content creator tier. They get to have a card with their thing on it, with their logo on it and whatnot. And the qualifications were 500 subs. I didn't have that at the time, but it was also like if you did content on Genesis, and I didn't read that part, so I only got one box. Feel a little dumb. But it's still, I got, all the cool foils. I got the good old poker chip. I don't really know where that idea came from. The affiliation coins. These look awesome, by the way. Come on. So yeah, the Genesis coins. They look good. I like them. I'm a fan. Coins are always fun. And then naturally, of course, we've got ourselves a box of Origins. Right. So yeah, I figured I want to open this box, and we're going to see how we do. And I'll talk a little bit of the box and kind of my history with the game and how things have kind of changed since the first impressions. That's my plan. So first things first. I can't find my cheap Costco scissors that I always use, so we're going to use good old X-Acto knife as I break into this bad boy. There we go. So, Genesis box, if you guys are just kind of checking it out. Origins, Kickstarter. This is kind of, first real, mainstream set. The game's been around for 4 years. And it's been pretty small. Definitely kind of intentional there in some things. But now we have an Origin set that was funded through Kickstarter. About $300,000. Thanks to the community for helping out. It kind of helped pay for people like me. So that's a win. I'm keeping that because it's my note. She's my girl. That's what I'm going with. So in these boxes, there's a box topper. So there's 3 cards in here. One of those is kind of an always static, it's the same one, Electrical Storm, I think. And then there's 2 others that could be sample cards, pre-alpha, foil epics. We'll see how we do. In a weird way, I'm kind of hoping that it's not something great. Just because it's Genesis box opening. It might look weird. I don't know. I don't know the rules on that kind of stuff. But anyway, I'm gonna put that to the side. We're gonna do that last goes there. So yeah, I'm gonna dig into Origins. I've already ripped the box, so sorry, this box, you're just gonna be out of the way. What up? So we'll crack stuff. I'll show off the fun stuff. I'll do kind of a quick, hey, here's kind of what's in a pack. I should also get in. I can get in there. Let's get in there. Let's dig in. I feel like I need to zoom out, really. All right. Sorry. I'm also going to move my face. Here we go. Okay. So, normal pack. Common. So, Jordan's thing. Common. We're kind of a 2 rare type of game as well. So, 2 rares in a pack with a couple exceptions here and there. Uncommon, high jump, flying kick. Winged Elate, so there's my first rare. I like this one. I'm a fan. Let's see if I can get this thing to zoom in a little better. I don't know. Longma. Token, Bacteriophage. Spore Cloud. looks like very Mario. Another Ossel, Quake Hoof, Dancing Streams. I'm gonna do what I'm used to doing everywhere else. I'm gonna pop the 2 rares out. And then there we go. That's that. I'm also going to you're probably going to see a quick cut as I try to fix the camera, just because I'd really like to be able to focus on this, and it's just blurry and I don't like it. So hang tight. And we're back. Fun fact, if you're using like the Logitech cameras and the focus is kind of bad, use the Logic Capture app. That's kind of what I'm using, because that's just a heck of a lot better than the blurry that we had before. So there we go. Look at that little wing delay. Ba-da-ba. I like these. I'm really curious about the phage stuff. And then Longma. There we go. I still got to hold it at a point. All right. Anyway, let's crack a little faster, because this shouldn't be like a 40-minute video. And I'm good at those, especially lately on my on decks and drafts that I'm not doing this on. I wanted to do this official. Alright, so we'll pass through a couple of slow rolls just so you can see the art. Ramasi, Bite, more Scopophobia, Right Hook, Away, I like this art. Landmine, Turn Away. One of these, I should save that for like another video. There's Jeff, Mr. Pasitos, Earthmane Lion, Zenith Pulse, Caustic Millipede, Rhinovirus, all the tokens, Aura Break, Block, Shield Major, and then another Spore Cloud. Thing I really dig about this set, I'm coming to you as a player at this point, and a fan, is I'm loving the art. I'm loving the art. I think they did a really good job with things this time around. Not that the last ones were kind of bad, but there's a lot of life in this art that I really, really dig. So, all right, I'm gonna crank through, just kind of blast through a little quicker. Get to the fun, get to the rares, you know, do that kind of thing. But yeah, so I only got 1 box, because I wasn't thinking about, I didn't think that I qualified for it. I'd only done 1 video. I was actually introduced to this game through Jordan, Scheming Skeleton, Warping Sweep, Mute, my notes, there's my girl. I was introduced to this through Jordan. He sent me the beta starter set, and I did a review of the beta starter set. And I had trouble with the beta starter set. The 2-player starter set that I have is called beta, and it's called beta for a reason. And even Assad, he let me know, was like, this was a little bit rough and kind of unbalanced. And it was a little bit rough and kind of unbalanced. Me and it were not the best of friends. So I did a review on Decks and Drafts, which is kind of the channel that I guess got me into many things TCG related, kind of on a bigger scale. And I struggled with things. I loved the mechanics. I struggled with the balance of the cards. That's how it started. I struggled with the balance. And I made that real clear. I was like, there are elements where the game just wasn't fun because there was so much balance that, like, there were so many issues there. So I put that out, and I wasn't expecting anything of it. You do a review of something new, you don't expect too much from it. Earth Fissure, Terrible Memories. Love this card. Love this art. Ooh, and a foily, My Swarm. Also fun. I'm happy to have this one in foil. Skadoosh. So I didn't expect much to come from a review. Do a review from a game. It was mediocre at best. Arguably bad. Like the section, I split it into sections. The section of things I liked is like, meh, and things I didn't was like much bigger. Things I struggled with. So I put that out there. And sure enough, I start getting comments from Alex and Asid. I'm like, here we go. And then sure enough, they're saying things like, yeah, this one... They're basically saying like, yeah, this set was a struggle. This was a struggle. I'm like, oh, don't expect that. Like, that's not something that you expect from a game when, you know, the creator gets on to your YouTuber, you're saying, it's like, this is kind of meh for me. The beta starters. And he's like, yeah, no, we knew. So that was interesting. That was new. That was unique. And one of the things is that as you go through and kind of see how people respond, a lot of people really dig Osset. And that was kind of one of the things I learned. Is I started talking to people, and it was Inferno Crawler, Lunging Assault. A lot of people were like, it's, you know, feelings of the game, it wasn't like mine. There were some who were like, hey, this game is mind-blowing. Some are like, hey, it's real good, but the thing that really stood out was how much people really liked the creator and how much they really wanted him to succeed. And, you know, starting off the day with, yeah, we know we had some struggles, thank you for the review, after it wasn't great, That says something. That says something. So we started talking. I was doing stuff for Flesh and Blood, Learn to Play kit. You know, very much community builder in the community. Or, yes, that's where you do community building. Very much community builder. But we kept talking about kind of, you know, my thoughts on that and growth and ideas and whatnot. And eventually, you know, we got to this Kickstarter. Kickstarter ended. And the conversation kind of came up. I was like, hey, we really could use help, you know, taking this somewhere. Like with the Kickstarter going, there's going to be a lot kind of for me to do and really, you know, really execute on. And I need help with the marketing thing. And you seem like you've got a pretty good handle on it. Coronavirus. Ninja Cobra. You seem like you've got a handle on it. And I shared some credentials. You know, I've got 15 years in marketing for Fortune 500 companies, and I do a lot of training was kind of my normal job. So, like, I had, like, document creation. I had a lot of things out there to kind of show. I never had anything in TCG specifically, but he gave me a shot. I was like, hey, I'd love to work. You know, I'd love to try it. Of course, who wouldn't? Who wouldn't? Work for a game company, right? So I gave it a go. And that's kind of how I got started with, all this, which is funny. I get to tell people that I got my first job in this, in the community through kind of a bad review. It's not something you expect. More monkeys. More Inferno Crawlers. I feel like that's like a similar pack to one I've already had. Iblis. Blown Away. Boom. Is that? No, you know what? I'm not going to worry about it. I'll let the video to figure that out if I got kind of the same rares there. But yeah, so we kicked it off, and I came in, started creating some stuff, started like real quickly with like a print and play kit. So you can there's a print and play deck out there, by the way. Started trying to get myself engaged in the community a little bit. And keep in mind, I'm still like, I'm not blown away by the game. Like, I'm still in bad review territory. I still got to see where stuff is at. Ooh, first epic. Tsunami. It's one I'm happy to get. Borderless is the epic, but these are all still, like, you can get Tsunami as a rare, which is very cool. So yeah, I was getting engaged with the community, but it was still, like, the game hadn't proven itself to me. Like, I still had the same issues that I had, because I really didn't get a chance to kind of play it. It's not like I said, hey, let me get a couple games in with Jalara 2nd Edition to see whether or not the game is kind of worthy of my time and effort and energy. It was, you know, it was like, hey, would you like to put a couple hours a week into helping our card game grow? And I'm like, yes, of course. Duh. That was a cool feeling. So, of course. So, I kind of didn't know what to... It was hard to be, like, as enthusiastic. I'm much more enthusiastic now that I've played a bunch more games, but I know there was, like, some initial criticism of me. I popped in on Bone Zone. I was like, here's all the things I'm going to do. And I was like, but I'm still... I still have to play the thing more. And it's funny, now that I've played it, I've gone back to that initial review. And if you get a chance, you should go check it out. It's on Decks and Drafts. Not that this is, like, a... Whatever. It's not... It's referencing. And, like, the criticisms that I had, looking at it, was really just not knowing how to play this game. Like, I had some criticisms of just little things that I felt like they're, you know, the cost of stuff didn't really match what the effect was. Like, the value was kind of off. So I was like, well, I didn't like that much. But I'm, like, looking at some of the examples and thinking about some of the ones, I'm like, we kind of sucked at the game is really what happened. Rock Crusher. There's the Electrical Storm. I should get a promo of that in the old gold box topper over here. Occupancy token. Yeah, I would think that spot is occupied. Right? I'm pretty sure that one's occupied. But yeah, so I go back and, like, we just straight up sucked at this game. And one of the, like, the best examples is there's a, it's not in one that I have, but I've been building a deck. There's a card called Peripheral Vision. It takes a lot of cards, and as far as, like, the balance, you know, the power level of it, it's higher than average. And all it does is you can rotate. That's it. You can... That's it. That's the whole thing the card does. And early me would be like, I don't appreciate why any of this is good. Like, how in the world is that worth as much as it is? And it's because I didn't really grasp my mind around, like, what the game, you know, how the game really functioned. And now I'm like, the card's like a staple in the deck that I'm building. Oh, yes! Love the art of it. Dolly is a rock star. They're all rock stars. But very, very cool card. Cackling Essa. So yeah, one of the things that was kind of wild is like the stuff that I didn't think was going to be was valuable at all is actually pretty incredible. I was like, oh. Not to say that the issues weren't probably still there with beta, but they were a lot less than I probably gave them credit for. And I have to own that. I have to accept that. Like, uh-oh. Maybe I really didn't do this right. Maybe I didn't understand the assignment. So now I've played some games. I'm like, oh, I actually really enjoy this. This is Volley of Arrows. This is, it's ticking off the chess boxes. I was a chess kid. I'm happy with the epics I'm getting. Another one I really dig. All right. Ba-doom. I like it. So yeah, now I've played it more. Dig it. I'm a fan. Very much a fan. Hits those tactical elements. I understand. But that took a little while. But there was a fun moment of validation at the beginning of all this. A guy named Kevin reaches out. He's like one of the first people to reach out and say congratulations on the new job. And he thanked me for the print and play kit, and he sent me pictures of him and his son London from Australia. Until recently, we're not in Australia. That was cool. I was like, can I post these? And it was kind of like my first, assignment. It was like my first, hey, I'm a part of this now. It felt good, and it's been great to be part of the community. You might see a dog pop up here soon. Sir. I am. Psychic Blast. I think I got another foily. Foot Stomp. Foily number 2. Like it. I'm a fan. Look at that. Fire Strike. Water Strike. Air Strike. Cool. So yeah, it was a great moment of validation to be a part of it. And then I got to go to Gamma for the first time. I got to go to my first trade show. Gamma's not a customer show, by the way. That's not a thing. That's for local game stores. That's for distributors, publishers to come out. Kind of really you're showing the real buyers. Like the ones who are going to buy at scale and then pass down to the customers. And I had to kind of talk about the game. And that was awesome. It was also new. Back in the kid was like, I'm new at this. Very new at this. But it was fun to get into a groove. It was great to have Kyle out from Fabled Collections. He helped out. Great energy. Bacteriophage. And also let me just kind of run for a little bit. He's had a lot of trust. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that in a boss. Especially for somebody who did flat out say, hey, I haven't done this before. And by the way, I wasn't the biggest fan of your game. Coming into it. Not that I wanted it to fail. It's not like I had it's not like that was that, but what made Gamma especially fun is I started to see what Genesis could really do and how it could do it in a different way. Like talking to game stores, Fissure, Storm again. Talking to game stores, one of the coolest things that came from it was we would do kind of like our quick pitch on it. Like, hey, here's what we're doing. Here's what we got. Here's our game. I'll show it off. And we had so many store owners say, I can't wait to show this to my Warhammer guys. I can't wait to show this to my D&D community. That was unexpected. And we had kind of a messaging for it, but I wasn't expecting it to work. We actually had one guy who came in, and he was, trying to get through traffic. And he was just kind of trapped at our table for a sec. So, hey, you got a minute? He looks at the poster and sees card game, and, rolls his eyes and says, sure. Sure. But he gives us our minute. And then, he brings back his buddy. He's like, you gotta see this. And again, look at our Warhammer guys. That was fun. Oh, Malefic Impaling. Line of sight coming in. So it's not just where it's at. It's across the board. That's spicy. Spicy, spicy. Flango, a very interesting card. But yeah, he brought back his buddy. And I started to be like, whoa, there's... And, oh, no, I had it. this can kind of break beyond the bounds of what I was used to. Like, how do you break into the card game community nowadays? And I think there's still ways. I think there's games that can very much still do it. But Genesis, of course, being one of them. It's a Genesis video. It's my job. I'm gonna try. I'm trying real hard. But it was cool to see that that was still something that could exist in the hearts and minds of people. It was really cool to see people look at this, know that there's a struggle, know the concern with card games. Not, I'm not picking any specific one because it's really just all of them. All of them together are just like, oh, here we go. And they caught on and they're like, this is really cool. Germatophobia. And that felt really good to see that and be like, I think I'm actually a part of something pretty unique here. Because it's not like we had hype to go off of. It's not like we already had like that big audience or anything like that. We're starting from practically scratch. And that felt real good. And that's what I've been kind of playing for now. That's the angle. Like, we got some cool partnerships with people going online, doing some online stuff, but I'm also reaching out to board gamers. I'm reaching out to minis companies. I'm saying, hey, I'd love for you guys to review. I'd love to see what your thoughts are and how this connects to kind of the things that you appreciate. And so far, I've gotten some pretty cool responses. I'm hoping to be able to link to them. They're writing them and doing the whole web page thing. More monkeys, all the monkeys, and more Tsunami. There's the original. So like I said, there's nothing priced out. So they're just variants. That's how our epic rares work. So yeah, that was kind of a big moment for me, and kind of my feelings of the game. Since then, we've had Origin spoiler season, and we've had growing community, and we've gotten to do like the Rough Levy tournament, and we've gotten to do a lot of really interesting, really fun things that are unique. I've liked that I've been able to try some new stuff. But naturally, I'd love to hear your thoughts and, what more would you like to see? What other fun things could we do? I'd love to try them out. So I've got a couple packs left. I'm just gonna that's kind of my story. That's where I'm at. It's been new. Nullify. Very cool card. They're back to the winged. But yeah, I wanted to kind of share. I was like, that was kind of my story and how this started. Kind of where we've come since then. We were recently over at Origins. Kind of same story. It was great to be out in Ohio. We practically built an Ohio community right then and there. New players trying the game out, bringing their store owners. A couple of them like, hey, I want to get inventory like right here. I'm like, okay, let's go. Again, cool feeling of validation. Being able to kind of talk about other plans, stuff that I'm still working on, kind of getting ready for release, and having them being like, I see where you're going and I like it. And I'm in. Okay, we'll be upside down for a card. Sure, it's the rabbit. Who's gonna fight with the rabbit? He can go whatever he can sit wherever he wants. What do you do with an 800-pound rabbit? And what do you do with an 800-pound rabbit in a movie theater? Or no, what is it? Where does an 800-pound gorilla sit in a movie theater or something like that? I don't know the jokes. Nullify. Water Warp. Green. Recomp. Rhino. I do actually, I've tried to get better at remembering where I last left off when I see something fun and cool, and I totally forgot where I left off there. I've gotten to do fun things. I'm trying things. Let me know. Oh, yeah, that's right. Ohio community kind of built it up, and then being able to be like, yeah, again, we're starting from scratch, and we're telling local game store owners who've dealt with enough of the headache with XYZ games, there's many of them out there, and be like, I see what you're doing, and that feels really good, and I'm really excited for that. We still have to prove ourselves, of course. Air Soldier, Tsunami, another epic, Cackling. I will say I haven't actually seen these proper in person. These are in fact the very first Origins packs I'm seeing. I like the finish. I really do. That's just me as like a fan. I really like the finish. I love this. By the way, I know that's like, I feel like, I think there were some who are just like, this doesn't really look like anything, just like a big ant in front of you. Like the, kind of the Genesis flavor isn't really there, but this just reminds me of like those old monster movies. And like the posters for those really old monster movies. Like this is just like Attack of the 50-Foot Ant. And it's like, I feel like this is what that would look like. This is what that poster might look like. There we go. I don't think I've seen one of these yet. Death Eater. Other thing I like. Mario. This was his second card, by the way, that he made for us way back in the day. And he got to take another crack at it. And it's really cool when you have like your artist kind of on staff. Because you get to kind of grow them, and then they work together, and they do like Discord, and they do like overprint sessions, and they teach each other stuff. And then like, you know, you have the original, which was still good, but definitely you compare the two, and there's just like highlights, and there's just life and motion, and there's a lot going on here. It was really cool to see this. It was really cool to see this. I was one of the first. This is actually one of the first pieces of art that showed me that I got to see. Oops, let me make sure you took out the rares. I did. So one of the first pieces of art. Like, I get into the Slack channels, and you know, we get to review art. Ha, suckers. I get to see stuff that for later. And we all help each other out. But yeah, that was one of the first, and also was like, so this is a thing. Showed me the Death Eater, and it's like, oh my god. And then he got real giddy. He's like, I'm gonna give this, like, this is gonna be Jordan's spoiler. I was like, oh, that's great. This is This is for Origins. This is for our new set. And this is what I'm giving to you.
Oh, wow, dude. And it's Damian. Or no, it's Mario. I thought it was Damian. I'm like, it's Damian. But it's I love Mario, too.
So we knew that Death Eater was, you know, was one of your absolute favorite cards. And that's fun. That's one of the things you get to do in your small company still, is you get to really do those truly fun, truly meaningful things. And I'm glad that we're not exploding so much out of the gate that we just don't have time to find those little moments of just true joy that connect with somebody for reasons beyond you're just a part of it.
So this is the art for my spoiler. 10 out of 10. As you may have noticed, my channel has a bear motif, so I got a bear spoiler. I'm just saying, you know, other card games that, you know, like to give me spoilers, the second there's a bear in those games, you know who to send it to. I mean...
Though Steel, for if you're watching, I don't think the bear was intentional. We gave him a bear spoiler. Austin can correct me on this in the comments. But we gave him a bear spoiler, and Steel for is like, he's got like a bear logo, and he was a big fan. He's like, oh my gosh. I don't know if that was intentional. I think it was pure luck. But we still get to find those opportunities. Now he's going to show up every pack. We still get to find those opportunities, and that feels cool. That feels good. So, again, I'd love your ideas. I'd love your thoughts. Feedback, post here, shoot me a message, joey@hauntedcastlegaming.com. I love this set. I want to hit the ground running with it. I think we can, but, you know, I'm me. I have my ideas. I'd love to hear yours. You know, especially if you're, like, in communities that are struggling or, like, you're not sure how to get started. Love to help. Love to help. I've got some fun ideas, and I need kind of places to try them. So 2 packs to go. Traumaphobia, Lava Rider, Bazin, Back and Break, the soup. I love the moth. I love this moth. The thing that's really sad about this moth, not to knock like any of the art, but like down here is really red, and it just kind of makes this pop so much more. But that's okay. It's still pretty vibrant. I'm not gonna lie, it's still pretty vibrant. Last pack. I don't know what last pack magic is. I kind of got 2 foils. There are secrets. We know that. That is out there. Yep. Still not gonna tell you what they are. I'll let you find that out of your own if you haven't found it already. Last pack. Mystic. Earthstrike. Move. Blood. Divine Blessing. Force Blast. Wave of Death. I love like there's so much in Wave of Death. Like if you like she's surrounded. Oh, come on. She's just surrounded and she's like, this is fine. Everything's fine. Love that. It's a beefy little card. Redirects will cool. Bacteriophage. I think Acid's favorite art, if I recall. Correct me, Acid, again, if I'm wrong. Cackling. Sup, sir. Hello the dog. Baz, no, I thought that was a foil. Forward Stab. Dancing, Beckon, Hearty Soup. There we go. So we still have a don't worry, I haven't forgotten the box topper. Don't you worry. But there we go. Big stuff. I have stuff to build. I actually have stuff to build. Oh, and I meant to put you in a sleeve. Like I said, I really want to build Minot. I'm very much, I love dancing around the board. I like that. I like being able to do that. I think she does it. I think she has some really unique ways to kind of make that not just like a fun thing, but like a really valuable thing. It's sneaky. It's sneaky. I got my thoughts. And that's one of the things I really like about Origins also, and I think it was a big shift from Beta. Like, Beta, there wasn't a lot of that, like, movement and bouncing around. At least the starter decks that I had. I couldn't say for the rest of the set. But I definitely... It almost feels like Origins takes you from Dungeons & Dragons 3.5 to 4.0. When, like, suddenly movement is a massive thing, and it's everywhere, and it's kind of easy. And that's another thing that I really liked, looking at Origin stuff and getting a good feel for kind of the game. Which one's the right way? I think... Okay, here we go. No. I don't have a choice. They're both... Crap. I was going to try to hide them all, but I can't. They're both... They're... Alright, well, we're just going to take this off. Then. That's how we're going to do it. We'll see whatever this is. But yeah, I felt like it was like... There's a lot more movement. The thing that I really like is that bouncing around... It's kind of viable everywhere, and it's not like a silver bullet. I dig that. Like, a lot of the things you might call silver bullets are really just good in general, and there's kind of nothing that's just straight up not that. Anyway, let's see if we do box toppers. Again, I don't know what I'm hoping for. I really hope, like, I kind of, like, don't want a pre-alpha. Rock Crusher, epic foil, number 1. Back of a card. And a back of a card. Yay. Huzzah. Middle. Lunging Assault, epic foil rare. Also awesome, also cool artwork, also cool card. And finale, should be the Electrical Storm. Right? Yep. That one's excluded. So, again, I would have felt real weird if, like, I actually got a pre-alpha. Like, really? Of course you give it to the employee. Thank God. Honestly, thank God. I'm going to crack my own stuff. I got to figure out how to get my hands on some, but... yeah. That's what I have for you. That's what we got in box. Thank you for listening to my story and checking out our box opening. Check us out. We've got a Discord that is getting pretty vibrant. We've got more stores that are lining up. If you have a store that is interested, please reach out. Again, Joey at hauntedcastlegaming.com. Love to connect maybe with that store. We can do like an open house kit, send decks. Just give them a chance to try the game. Love to get them to try the game. That's kind of our goal. And then if they like it, we go from there. But anyway, I'm not going to carry this on too much longer as I get close to the 30-minute mark. Thank you again. This has been an awesome ride. To the community who has helped and supported so far, thank you for giving me such a warm welcome. This is a cool feeling to be a part of this. There's something about being part of spoiler season, but there's also something about being a key part of a release from the back end, and you learn so many things, and there's so many nuances you just don't see just like doing a one spoiler or something like that. So thank you guys for your patience and helping me out. Please continue to give me feedback, and we'll try to respond and do what makes the most sense and try to grow this awesome little game of ours. That's all I've got. Cheers, everybody.